How can organizations ensure that diversity and inclusion efforts aren't, I think the concern was that they're sometimes used as a excuse, and that they don't receive the necessary attention and resources that they deserve. In other words, like, how can we make sure that it's not a scapegoat to avoid addressing like the critical issues in the workplace?
Whatever mechanism we get to those issues is critical. It could be culture, it could be leadership, it could be DEI.
Yeah.
Most people I know are not racist. Although in a big company, I said to them, how many employees do you have? 10,000. Pick a company. I'm going to tell you a secret. Somewhere in there, you probably have a racist, just by statistics.
Right.
Our job is to make sure that those attitudes do not pervade in the company. And I think in managing diversity, we've seen an evolution. And as you build on that, one, you got to manage the numbers: race, gender, or orientation, background, geographic background, whatever, handicap, whatever those numbers are, we need to track them because they become a foundation piece. Second, we do programs. We do programs that demonstrate our commitment to diverse thinking, to inclusive thinking, include as belong, to equity, to treating people with respect. Then we link those to the strategy. So you've kind of done 3 steps: numbers, programs, strategic. I think we've got to get to the 4th step. And if diversity is going to have a DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, is going to have real staying power, that changes the assumptions of how we manage. And again, I love simplicity. What does that mean? Yes, we have numbers that we'll track, we'll report them. And if that's our diversity strategy, it's going to get gamed and people will game the numbers and play games. 2, we're going to have programs. We're going to do training. And I've been in a company where you go through diversity training and you have to click every once in a while to show that you're still logged on. And to be honest, those training, that's not going to change behavior. I mean, you just do the click. Right. And third, you're going to say, oh, that's part of our strategy. I think you got 2 assumptions you got to manage. Number one, everyone has something to offer. And so when I sit down with a leader, if I were coaching, I'd say, think about where you're trying to go in the marketplace. What do different people bring to that success? And we all have different strengths. We all have different strengths. Some people bring financial discipline. Some people bring supply chain discipline. Some people bring marketing insights. Everyone has something to offer, no matter what the race, gender, ethnicity. That's an assumption you've got to have. I'm not going to limit the offering to people who all graduated from my university. They all graduated from my school. They're part of my family. And if you have a small company, you got to be careful. The only people who have most to offer are family members. Well, that's not true. Everyone has something to offer. That's an interesting assumption because we all have biases. And number 2, everyone has something to offer. Number 2, my job or your job as a leader is to empower that offering, is to make sure that every employee is given opportunities to offer what they have. So that may be somebody may only have an ability to provide A, B, and C, and somebody else may provide X, Y, and Z, but everybody has an opportunity to give what they have. With those assumptions as a leader, diversity and equity and inclusion becomes an empowering agenda for the company because everyone has something to offer. Everyone has something to offer. And my job as a leader is to find ways to do it. I find those assumptions not easy, but when you get them, diversity is no longer a set of numbers. It's no longer a program or training program. It's no longer just a strategic statement. It's embedded in the way we do work. The parallel to that, 15, 20 years ago, everybody was gaga about quality. You got to have a quality inspector. So you'd inspect the car before you ship it. You'd inspect supply chain. The best quality companies have no more quality inspectors because everybody is committed to quality. It's an embedded part of their culture. I think the best diversity cultures have no more people doing DEI because everybody has those assumptions. And you know, and then when you have that random person who sadly, and I'm not here, well, I am judging. It's really sad, people who have those racist backgrounds. I mean, it's sad. They were trained that way. They grew up that way, whatever it is. Our job as leaders and as HR people is to identify them and then hopefully help them change or change out of the company. We're not going to allow that. We're not going to allow that. And, but everybody's got those two assumptions. Everyone has something to offer, and the leader's job is to empower that offering.